All right, to this a suggestion via a channel member. The name of the video is Venezuela. Maduro slams Trump's gunboat diplomacy after submarine threat. All right, let's jump into the video immediately, see where this video takes us, guys.
And now to the latest in South America over rising tensions between Venezuela and the United States. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has blasted what he calls U.S. gunboat diplomacy, accusing Washington of violating the treaty for the prohibition of nuclear weapons in Latin America and the Caribbean. Speaking at a reception for the new ambassador of Azerbaijan to Venezuela, Maduro claimed the Trump administration violated the treaty by sending a nuclear-powered submarine into the Caribbean.
Our diplomacy is not gunboat diplomacy of threats, because the world cannot be the world of 100 years ago again. The gunboat diplomacy. I have so many cannons, so many ships, and I put them in front of you and you surrender or do what I feel like making you do. No, that's over, it's over. Our diplomacy is the diplomacy of dignity, the Bolivarian diplomacy of peace. Our diplomacy comes from
peace. Is that what you said?
From Bolivar, from Chavez. It is a high-level, refined, admired diplomacy.
Maduro further noted that Caracas has received solidarity and support from around the world, noting that no Latin American country had ever been threatened with a nuclear submarine before.
The Treaty of Tlatelolco has been violated, which prohibits the movement, use, and manufacture of nuclear weapons throughout the territory of Latin America and the Caribbean. Venezuela is receiving striking global solidarity because no country in Latin America and the Caribbean had ever been threatened with the nuclear submarine.
Now, Maduro's comments come after reports suggested that Washington has deployed additional warships, including a guided missile cruiser and a nuclear-powered submarine, to the southern Caribbean, citing threats from Latin American drug cartels.
Okay, so here's my question here. Interesting then. All right, so is it a nuclear submarine, or does it have the nuclears, let's say like ballistic missiles, ICBMs, right, on the actual submarine? Okay, like is it just like a nuclear powered thing that you're complaining about? Is that what you're talking about, or does it actually have the ICBMs?
The warships are in fact expected to arrive in the region as early as next week, following last week's deployment of 3 warships and 4,000 Marines to curb drug trafficking. Now, in response to President Trump's threats, Venezuela on Tuesday deployed its own warships and drones to patrol the country's coastline. Video showed military convoys with tanks passing through central Venezuela on Wednesday after the government's announcement. Amid these measures, Venezuela's defense minister said there's no room for fear, adding the government is committed to strongly informing citizens about its...
Let me see that one more time here, guys. The U.S. has doubled the bounty on Maduro. Really?
No room for fear, adding the government is committed to strongly informing citizens about its efforts to address potential threats.
There will be those who say they are scared. Here, there is no room for fear, but we have proposed ourselves to inform our people with a lot more strength what we are doing to combat all of that.
Now, tensions have been simmering for months between the two nations, and Maduro has been in President Trump's sights, however, since his first term. Now, since returning to power in January, Trump's attacks on Venezuela have focused chiefly on the activities of transnational drug cartels. The administration has designated Mexico's Sinaloa cartel and other drug gangs, as well as Venezuelan criminal group Tren de Aragua, as global terrorist organizations in February. Washington recently also doubled its bounty to $50 million in exchange for Maduro's capture to face drug charges. Maduro, in turn, has accused Trump of attempting to effect regime change and has launched a drive to sign up thousands of militia members. Earlier this week, Caracas also petitioned the United Nations to intervene in the dispute. Despite the threat and military buildup, experts have reportedly downplayed the possibility of a U.S. invasion of U.S. strikes on Venezuela. Meanwhile, on the streets, many people are shrugging off the threat as posturing. So as Venezuela and the United States maintain a strong show of force, both sides continue to monitor each other's military movements very closely.
Of course.
Tensions are definitely brewing, and it's still an open question for the Trump administration if these moves in the region are in fact about regime change or eliminating narco trafficking.
A little bit of both. I'm gonna go ahead and be honest here. So, like, listen, like, Maduro's not like tremendously, specifically in Venezuela. Let's just be honest here. He's just not like a super likable guy for obvious reasons. You guys can go into that and form your own opinions on that specifically. Now, for him to be able to maintain the power that he actually has, right? Be fully aware that any organization, cartel specifically, that is running at the height, let's say, that the ones in South America and Central America are, they would have to be completely fine, let's say, like backdoor payments, at least, to a lot of the government there. Now, we do know that the Mexican president has also been kind of, pointed at and said that, hey, listen, who put you in power? The cartel. All right. So just understand this here. The money that's being made is absolutely astronomical. And I can imagine that Maduro, being as, potentially, allegedly as corrupt as he is, let's say, why would he want any of his money to stop? Think about this here for a second. If he has been able to maintain the power that he has had for as long as he has had, regardless of elections, right? Let's say that there, then that means that there's a gigantic organization for the most part helping him, feeding him funds in order to maintain some of these things. So now imagine President Trump comes to the border, comes into the international waters, let's say, to your country's waters, and you're like, wait a second, hold on, the money is stopping. Who do you get a phone call in the middle of the night? The people that are actually running the country. All right. Understand, like, guys, this whole area here is flooded with this type of thing. Okay.
First post now available in 9 languages on YouTube.
Okay, so I don't know what that is here, guys. Either way. All right. So I don't think nothing is going to kind of happen, but if you can actually stop the movement of narcotics into the United States of America in some meaningful manner, I don't see how that's actually a gigantic issue here. Maduro is gonna Maduro, bro. He's gonna do exactly what he's doing right here. Is this some type of posturing? Oh, yeah. Everyone is posturing right now. Everyone. What's gonna be the benefit of it? I have no idea, but I do hope that eventually we can kind of get things kind of stopped in the United States of America. I do not think we're going to go forward and do anything detrimental to the country, but obviously any sovereign nation with another sovereign nation's gigantic weaponry off their coast is going to mobilize in a very similar manner that Maduro just did. So I don't blame him specifically for that, but I would like to know the reasons for why you're trying to protect the big bad guys that are in your country. Okay, I want to know, how much are they paying you? Let me know in the comments. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, we'll catch you guys later.